talk about it and wing it and ad-lib a little bit. This has a whole bunch of stuff about the Aboriginal people, myths and legends. There's a legend you could read down here. I've taught this one before last year when I was testing out this curriculum, and the kids didn't seem that super focused at that moment, so I did not read this is a long legend that came with this, and I didn't read them that. So I don't think it hindered the lesson at all. And then then the next section is tell the students about the art and the main points about it. And a really great way to talk to the kids about art is to get them to talk instead of you doing all the talking, especially when it's the art that's on the screen, is to get them to talk about it themselves, just to ask them questions. So what do you see? What colors do you see? Do you see lines? What kind of lines do you see? And why? Can anyone think of one type of line? And to maintain control, it's good to have them raise their hands and call on them, but ask them questions and involve them. Like, how does work? How does this make you feel? Do these colors make you feel excited? Do they make you feel sleepy? Do they make you feel like you want to have fun and go out with your friends? Does it make you angry? Kind of get them to discuss how they feel, how they view it, and what they're seeing. Ask them what they see. Do you see something here? Do you see something that's alive or something that's dead? What's the alive thing that you see? You see a lizard? Okay, good. You see a snake? Good. You see a bird? Good. And kind of get them involved in it, because the more you involve them in the discussion and the art, the more interested they'll be, and the more they will learn. And so as you see, the tell students about the art on this lesson is just the one page. So, like I said, you could kind of talk about it more, and it gives you a lot of room to ask the kids questions. And then this one has three projects that you can choose from. And then the nice thing is it gives you samples of the projects that that you could have chosen from. So whatever project you've decided on is fine. So once you finish the talking part of the lesson, then you can start distributing the practice sheets. I would really probably advise you not to hand out the materials until after you're done talking, because believe me, if there is a table with glue and scissors and paper or paint and paintbrushes and you're talking, the kids are going to be half listening to you, because they are just like dying to get their hands on this stuff. Kids just love art. They love to do it, and so it's very distracting for them. So don't hand anything out until after you're done with the talking part. So hand out the practice sheets and give them a few minutes for that, 4 or 5 minutes, and walk around. And it's great if you're doing it, and if you've got one or two other docents. If not, just you and the teacher is fine too. Just go from table to table and just kind of see what they're doing. Like, oh, that looks great, and and encourage them and help them kind of formalize their ideas. And you will get a couple of kids who are just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to I have no idea. And so you could encourage them to think about things like a moment or a favorite, something at home, in their room, in the yard, something where they went, where there was something they liked. I mean, just talk to them and ask them questions and, help them come up with ideas. So after a few minutes of the practice, once they figured out what they're actually going to do, then give them their final paper. And first thing is, once they get it, have them write their name on the back. And that's really, really key. And I have emphasized that many times in the step-by-step guide, because every year, even though we always say, write your name, at the art showcase time, when we're gathering, we've got the art and everything, there's always one project with no name. And of course, you show it to the kids. They did it 6 months ago, and no one can remember. I don't know. Is that mine? I have no idea. So, really make sure they have their name on the back. During the hands-on portion of the lesson, once again, it's good for the docents to go from table to table. The teachers will usually help to go from table to table, talk to the kids, check in on them, make sure they're doing the right, they're going in the right direction with their work. I mean, if you're talking about complementary colors and, a kid is just doing all black, that's not the right direction. Or, you know, there are some kids who are so focused, they just want to do a robot. Well, you know, it's not free time drawing. It's, you know, you really want to direct their attention back to the actual lesson that you're trying to teach them. You know, answer their questions and help them with their ideas. You'll probably also have to help them not get super messy with what they're doing. Also watch the clock. Start reminding the students to finalize and finish up their projects when there's about 15 minutes left of the lesson time, so that they know, you know, like, we're not going to be here for 2 hours doing this. They've got to start wrapping it up. You know, make sure they have their name on the project. And as each student finishes, just help them with cleaning up their area. You know, to second, third grade and up, they usually know how to kind of clean up their area. They have a spray bottle and they know to get a paper towel and wipe it down and put away the materials. And then collect all the art pieces and have them all. And you're going to collect them. And if they're wet, let's say it was paint, just lay them out. There's usually tables all around the classroom. Lay them out to dry. And then when your lesson is complete, remind the teacher to keep all these works in their brown art docent folder. Every classroom will have a big brown folder that's just marked art docent, you know, and the teacher's name. And that is where we're going to store, you know, it's going to be I know it seems huge, but by the end of the year, it will be really full, because you'll have had 8 or 9, you know, 7, 8 or 9 projects in there, all collected, that you will be able to choose from for the art showcase. So then after your art lesson, so make sure you collect all the art supplies in the lesson packet from the classroom. Do not forget to take the CD out of the teacher's PC, put it back in the case, and make sure to put the packet back together so it's complete and ready for the next docent. And, you know, if it has extra materials like the manila folder with the templates, make sure you have that too. So it's a complete packet once again. And then collect all the materials and, you know, clean it and get it ready for the next art docent. That's just really a courtesy, you know, and respect kind of a thing. Make sure, you know, you wash the paintbrushes, the palettes, and the water cups, rinse it out, dry it as best as you can, and put it back in not just the right closet, but put it back where it is. I've tried to label the art docent closet, you know, so where everything has a place. I've tried to do labels for all that, so hopefully it will be easy for you to, you know, put the pastels back, to put the, you know, paintbrushes back, the watercolor pencils, and that kind of thing. Put all that back, and make sure that when you get back to the art docent closet, that you check the packet back in, you know, and write it in, that you've checked it in. And we have, there's only one material that I'm like, you know, a little bit anal about, is that we have a new set of pastels, oil pastels, that is just for the art docent program that I purchased, because before we were using the general supplies pastels, which were just a mess. They were just terrible. And so we had extra money last year, so I bought these. So they come in these nice plastic cases. Please don't break them in half to spread it around with the students. There's plenty for them to just use the whole stick themselves. And make sure you have all the pastels back in the case, and the case back in the bag that it comes in. What else? Well, I think that's really actually it. And like I said here in the guide, you know, it's a lot right now. I mean, I'm sure it's, you know, kind of intimidating, but really it's not rocket science. It's easy. It's supposed to be fun. It's fun for you. It should be fun for the students. If you're very stressed out about it, they will completely feel that. So just enjoy it and have a fun time. You know, you're a parent. You teach your child. So I always tell people, when you're being an art docent, just kind of go into parent mode. And like, you're teaching, instead of just teaching your child, you're teaching a whole class of kids. And you know, it's really not that hard, and you will, within 1 or 2 lessons, you'll easily get the hang of it. So, you know, I can assure you it's a great program, and you will, you know, enjoy it and feel rewarded. And I think that is why it is continually, year after year, just really well supported by the PTA, by the teachers, and the parents. And, you know, art docents come back year after year. I mean, we have people here that have been doing this for years. I've been doing this for, gosh, I think this is my 7th year. So I just really enjoy it. So hopefully you will too. So Good luck. Thanks.